Yes, I think it is a big issue in Lancashire. The problem is, and this is my view, that Lancashire is its own worst enemy. There's still migration from Lancashire in economic terms, and I don't think we're pulled together. I'll give you an example. We've been working, as you know, on tithe bond for a considerable number of years, and Blackburn and Blackpool decided, in their wisdom, they would fight that proposal. There's got to be a realisation that a pound spent in any town or city in Lancashire is a pound spent in Lancashire and the North West. Despite all the efforts, both at government and local level, we don't succeed as we should. We're not fighting our weight. Having said that, Preston has been doing particularly well over the last from about 1998 onwards. And there's some recent evidence from Centre for Cities that I think we've produced something over 17,000 new private sector jobs in the 10 years 98 to 2008. I think it's a bit disingenuous for David Blunkett to talk about Conservatives and money saving. I mean, I could go on and talk about Labour and money spending, and I think they have got us in a mess. I have to be political, but I think they wouldn't have done it if they'd known what the ramifications have turned out to be. Yes, it will save money. It will save something in the nature of 17 times 3,500. You know, what do you cut? We get people at the door every single day saying, yes, we agree, we want cuts, but don't cut ours. It's got to be sliced, it's got to be prioritised, and that's a subjective decision. But it's a subjective decision with heart as well, and reality. The fact is, there's no money, and we can't keep on borrowing. There's an element, a culture of leaning. Where do I go? Who will help me? There's the Localism Act, which is just coming through, but the understanding is that local people, activists presumably, will then make decisions or try to make decisions within a limited budget. So my question then would be, well, does that defeat some of the functions of a local councillor? So yes, I don't agree with these comments. I agree in the generality of everyone is bound to take a reduction. He has an extreme, probably, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but possibly a Marxist agenda. Now, I'm saying that Martin Rowlinson might be right, but I don't know that he is, and I don't know that he isn't. And all we have to do is say immediately we can find savings. Yes, there were some front-end costs, but if we can save something in the nature of £100,000 a year just on the fact of not doing an annual voting system, then whatever we save on reducing the numbers of councils as well is an add-on. But if you had less members, less meetings, and more objective meetings, then officer time would be saved. As well as to cut the programme at the Guildhall, and that will save something in the nature of £580,000 a year. It wasn't well received. The justification for it and why it was cut and how it was cut was it's very expensive to have lots of people on a stage. The problem is health and safety requires lots of front-end people as well to look after them. The programme can be quite good, but it'll be of a certain narrow function. It will be individuals or small groups rather than mass people. The Labour Party now are proposing to increase charges for parking in the car parks as a means of increasing the income stream. Now, we have some strong reservations about that, because the more you increase the cost of parking your car, there's a good likelihood that you're going to lose the footfall. So it's a dichotomy, isn't it? Do we do that to get the income, or do we lose the footfall for the shops? And as you know, quite a lot of shops have closed down in Preston, as in other cities and towns. So. Well, if you talk about the police I've been quite deeply involved in that because adjacent to my ward, they're closing the police station. But when you look at the figures, they're not being used. They spent a lot of money on it, and there's been a big hoo-ha about that in the press. Why sell it, having already spent £200,000 on doing it up? But that was a health and safety issue. Everyone will always complain about the closure of something, even if they've never used it. And that's the issue, isn't it? There will be representation on the streets, and that's the important element, I think. They can always find, there's always a number they can ring for the police. And the police for a long time have been going down the route of electronic communication and telephonic communication, rather than keeping a public station open. If the professionals believe they can offer the service that the public expect, and it requires the closing of those stations, then I have no problem.